Guys, I'm going to do a little update on the gang stalking and what's going on in the apartment, but I wanted to first show you a little bit of a craft. Yesterday we did this together and I made this, and I wanted to show you how, if you look at my previous videos, you can make these yarn balls with aluminum foil. Just wrap it with aluminum foil. If you want it to be stiff, you just put some the glue mixture that I showed you in the previous video, or you could just make it with jute and wrap it around, or just without the glue mixture. So this kind of is the color scheme I wanted to go with, and I'll show you. Let me just move this out of the way so you can see the other type of yarn balls you can make. And I told you in a previous video that this is made out of a lamp. This came from a lamp, and all I did was put a pretty coaster underneath it to make it into a bowl. So I wanted to give you these ideas on how, just with recycling, reusing, and repurposing, you can make something so pretty. This is just a plastic bowl and another plastic bowl. So I wanted to give you that idea. And now I'm going to give you guys an update. So let me see if I can get myself. Okay, I'm trying to get myself. So what they're doing, it seems, and I'm just going to tell you what I'm hearing them talk about. They run back and forth from the apartments on the 14th floor from one place to another, and then they say they're upstairs. I don't know how River Bay or whoever coordinated these groups of people, but they're not just neighbors talking. There's noises. There are noises in the walls. And I told you that in 2016, it seems like this group started investigating and researching me, coming up with lies. And then when I correct the lies by talking to you guys in these videos, they come up with new lies. So this is an attempt to steal not only my business, my ideas, and my apartment. And I think that's how this criminal organization is organized. I told you guys, if you are in any way connected to me, call the FBI, call the police, because this group works this way. Or I should say they don't work, they steal and they lie and they cheat. The other part of it is they're making, there's like something that if you look at a video from 2019, I talked about a crack snapple pop sound, like it sounds like sounds that come from, it seems like it's coming from the ceiling. So I think they said something about it being an electromagnetic field. So I know from watching other YouTube videos that people talk about there's an app where you can test the electromagnetic field, and it kind of coordinates with your brain activity. So they have some sort of beats that you can, if you know that field. And I told you about a guy who put a cell phone next to my head. If you have the electromagnetic field, then you could put beats, and it kind of coordinates with your circadian rhythm, your sleep patterns, and sort of your brain waves. I don't know the details. This is what I'm overhearing them talk about. But what I do know is that I can feel a tightness in my scalp. I showed you the marks on my head. I showed you the marks throughout my face and my body. And then I can feel the tightness in my head, and it's the temples, the top of my head, and the back of my head. And that is not something that I made up or anyone can make up. You can research it. It's something that you can definitely search on the internet. But I'm trying to get as much information as possible, not just to protect myself and my mom and everybody connected to me, but also because this makes illnesses appear. I showed you the other day this knot in my joints. Well, I had these knots. I don't know if you guys can see it. I had these knots in my hip area, and it causes me a lot of pain and discomfort. I have these knots in my back. I have the knots on my chest. I have the knots on my shoulder. I don't know if you guys can see it. On my arm. So it's not only something that's causing me a great deal of pain and discomfort, but on top of the pain and inflammation, they're talking. So to me, the talking distracts from the pain and inflammation. They think that that's their way of getting over. So to disguise what they're doing, the physical pain, they're compounding it with abuse, psychological and mental abuse. And their attempt was to make me seem like I'm a crazy person. But how could I be crazy? I'm 48 years old. I never had any history of mental illness, ever. If you go under ShamegaJohnson on Twitter, if you go under Fashion Fun Femme, FEMME, on Twitter, you'll see I put up reference letters. I put up letters from the people who claim I'm crazy. How could you continue to be in a relationship with someone who you say is nuts when after you've been out of the relationship, you still contacted that person? It doesn't, none of it makes sense. It's not a logical thing, which is what I'm getting at from the gang stalking. It's not about logic. It's not about common sense. They claim that this was a system of talking to me to give me ideas. And if you listen closely, you can still hear some of the noises and sounds. And I'm not going to record them anymore because I told you how I think that's the ultimate setup. They said that they're going to use some sort of voice cloning technology or some sort of nonsense to make it sound like when I'm talking to you, I'm also talking in the background. None of that makes sense to me. But what makes sense is that if we all get together, they used to say, so we all. And I told you how in a previous video, it changes my terminology. Well, if we all, I'll use their phrase, if we all get together and find a way to track this system down, track who's behind it, who funds it, and track how River Bay, which is managed by the Douglas Elliman Group, can afford to let people live here for free in exchange for working, which is what they said, then if we all can do that together, we can sort of clean up this mess. And that's how we're going to have to operate from now on. I will have to figure out what technology is being used. Am I the only person going through this? I know I can't be because other people, I'm finding out about it through other people. So they said I'm the only person in this program. They said this is a bully program, a program to bully me because I'm such a horrible person, but I should call them because they miss me. Again, craziness. But I know I'm not the only person going through it because I'm learning from other people. So clearly I'm not the only person. But what I think I could be is one of the few people who has letters and notes and references from people. You know what I mean? So that changes my standing. These people who are attacking me gave me glowing reference letters. They gave me glowing thank you cards. So that changed everything for me. But I want you to know that if you're going through this, I'm putting out videos describing it. I'm watching people's videos who are describing it. I'm trying not to comment on other people's videos because I have a stalker on my video already who leaves me comments calling me insane and who's very abusive to me. If you look at my ShamegaJohnson Twitter account, you'll find out exactly who it is because I put his a screenshot of what he said. So clearly there is a paper trail. And I'm going to keep putting this information out there. I'm just going to leave again. I want to leave one more thing. Oh, and that's another thing. They said that they have this technology where you hear the sounds, where they can clone my voice when I'm talking to you folks and put a different word in. That's another craziness. But because I told you how to record it, if you want to hear the truth, if you take that old technology, you'll hear the difference between my voice and what they insert. You'll hear that constant hum and you'll hear the banging and you'll hear the whispering in the background. Let me show you one more thing before we finish. This is the wall where this sound sounds like it's coming from, along this wall. And they're about to probably lie on me about something, but I want to listen to them. So they're probably going to lie in a few moments about something that just happened. And I'll show you so that they cannot lie about it. They're so bizarre. Okay, this is a picture that is in my apartment. And this is just something that's on the back of this picture. So they're going to lie, and I want to make sure I cut them off right before that happens. And I'll tell you more about this story in the future. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos, and feel free to leave a comment.